This is Hannibal back here from the Hannibal TV on YouTube with a daily combat sports news update. By the way, tomorrow night, Don Morocco is going to be doing a live interview with me at 7 p.m. Eastern. Some good news overall for former UFC champion and WWE and AAA wrestling star Cain Velasquez today. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison, but will get a credit of more than 3.5 years for time served and time out on probation wearing an ankle monitor. He'll still likely have to serve 1 year or so in prison, though. But that's a lot less than he was potentially looking at for an incident where he was firing shots at a man who had been accused of molesting his son. He did not hit the guy that he was trying to hit, the guy that is accused of molesting his son. I don't know the status on that. I don't blame him for that. I sincerely don't blame him for that. The thing where he went wrong is he ended up shooting the wrong person who will probably end up suing them. I guess that person's always going to have issues with their arm now. I mean, this is a friend of the alleged child molester. But this car chase involving weapons went on for 11 miles at 100 miles an hour. So a lot of other people were put in danger, and kids that could have been in other cars around that time could have been shot or in a car accident while all of this was going on. But to want to get revenge on someone who potentially raped a loved one or molested a loved one, yeah, I don't blame him for that, and I think that probably the judge took that in consideration with this sentence, considering he did actually hit someone with one of the shots. I always thought he was a great fighter. He beat Brock Lesnar. He didn't have much of a WWE run. He's even been used in AAA since all of this. While he's been out on parole. He seems like a nice guy. I personally hope I can interview him one day. Would like to interview him. I've got a lot of respect for him as a fighter. I mean, this is a terrible situation all around. I sympathize with him 100%. The DA was asking for 30 years to life. And those California prisons, I'm sure it helps that you're a two-time UFC champion. But I mean, that's not a pleasant place to be under any circumstances. In other news, Teddy Long has been doing the interview rounds lately, insulting Lacey Von Erich and saying, Lacey Von Erich, for anyone that remembers SWE Fury that I worked with, Teddy saying Lacey Von Erich and her control over some of the owners, there was 4 owners of that company, had a lot to do. Basically, he blamed all of the everything to do with it on Lacey. I actually told Lacey about this today, and she responded to me that she's done with wrestling and she's not even going to lower herself to the level of addressing Long. I've been in contact with one of the other promoters I know in relation to that. I mean, let me tell you something. If there's ever a snake in wrestling, it's Teddy Long. And I remember he told me during the whole SWE drama that he was going to get every penny he could out of that company, and he ultimately did. I don't believe he quit for 1 second. The truth is, the company fell apart, and one of the big chinks in the armor was when Teddy had his little feud with me, and I ended up leaving the company because I was doing a lot of work for that company, and I was a big part of the wheel of that company. And it's really unfortunate the way everything turned out because it had a lot of potential, and I had a lot of fun there. And I'm sure the days of Hannibal wrestling in Texas are not over. I will be wrestling in Philadelphia soon. the 2-300 arena against Super Crazy on May the 3rd. I'm also going to be in LA with Rick Bassman managing me soon for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. By the way, one of the nice wrestlers, as big of an asshole Teddy Long is, Ted Arcidi, who I've done an interview with. Look it up. He randomly mailed me 2 autographed pictures of himself just from the kindness of his heart. And I appreciate that, Mr. Arcidi. He's a great guy. Universal, I don't watch modern wrestling because I don't like it. I follow the news, but I don't find it entertaining or quote unquote well written. So I'd rather just not let it bother me and not care about it. If you do care about it and you do like it, good for you. I don't hold it against you. By the way, I did hear Dave Meltzer say, Brian Alvarez from Wrestling Observer say, Dynamite apparently keeps going over their time, and they're actually losing viewers when they go overtime. Strangely enough, like they're not by doing an overrun, it's not helping their overall ratings for whatever reason. But I wish everyone a great day. Again, I'm interviewing Don Morocco tomorrow. I'll be in Las Vegas next week doing some in-person interviews as well, and filming a scene for the upcoming Tommy Morrison documentary, which I was a big fan of his. So I'm excited that I've done a lot of interviews related to his situation. So I'm excited that I'll be a small part of his upcoming documentary. Yes, well, hopefully I'll wrestle again in Thunder Bay one day. That whole Terry Funk thing. I was actually attacked at the bar that night by a fan. It was quite something. Please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. There's a lot more coming on Hannibal